Welcome to Cine Digest Movie Recap. We bring you the world's greatest films, the plot, the standout moments, and everything you need to know in minutes with a touch of excitement. Subscribe now and hit the bell. And don't forget to like the video. Enjoy the show. Alien creatures attack the space station of the universe. They not only have wisdom, but can even manipulate human thinking. The most positive parts of the story begin with Maya waking up from a spaceship. She only feels her head aching and her brain blank. She can't remember what happened at all. The floor is covered with blood. There are also a few bodies lying in the corner. Apparently, she experienced a big war not long ago. Maya came to the operating table to open the storage door. She found herself in another planet. There are unknown particles floating in the air. She looks like she is in the fog. Maya is curious and looks left and right. Suddenly, she finds a shadow in front of her. She is excited and moves forward. She finds that the other party's action is the same as hers. Maya only feels her head hot. When she comes back, she sees that the foot is in the abyss. She is terrified and looks up at the sky. She has a strong sense of intelligence. This strange planet is obviously different from the other. At this time, Maya feels that her breathing is not bad. She insists that her body returns to the space. But even if the storage door is closed, her body is still not retrieved. When she is in a dizziness, her memory is flashing in her mind. Maya sees a fierce battle, and the warm moment when she and her teammates are getting. She is so strong that she puts a sedative on. This makes her body a little rest. She washed a hot bath, cleaned up the blood from. Maya begins to carefully measure the surrounding environment. She sees the name tag of each bedroom. She's sure that everyone who knows this has experienced something. At this time, her ears think of a voice reminder. Someone outside requests. Maya did. In the end, she still opened the store. When the other party came in, she knocked people down with the settings. After questioning, she learned that the name of the visitor was Jack. She was originally in the outer orbit, but she received a Maya. She said that Captain Clark was crazy. She was in the crew, so she came down to check. Maya felt that this person was familiar. After a little communication, she got a lot of useful info from Jack. Because the Earth's resources to run out, the Air Force sent 7 spacecraft to the space a new home. The first 6 have all failed, and the spacecraft in which Maya is located is the last hope for mind. With the help of Jack, the wound on Maya's forehead has been treated by machines. But when scanning the brain, the system warns it's been hit. Blood solidifies and says the nerves. The memory loss. Maybe it won't cover. After a search, Maya found 3 in the spacecraft, but the crazy Clark didn't know. Jack guessed that there was some kind of virus or parasite on this planet, affect his brain. Under the strong curiosity, Maya investigate the truth, but Jack told her that the base's oxygen supply can last for 5 hours, not to mention the terrible solar storm. The most wise thing to do now is to take the lifeboat to the outer orbit base, then ask the headquarters someone to investigate. But the lifeboat will only take 2 to take off again. Maya had to go around and around. She Kevin's room without knowing it. The smell of the feel very familiar. At this time, a flows into her mind. It's like she's holding and stabbing the other party. Maya wished that she put on a painkiller. That kind of reeling disappeared again. This is even more firm. Find out the truth. Searching the room again, Maya found a work diary. There are real-life videos in it. When the 4 people in the spaceship were exploring this planet, Jack said he found abnormal radiation sources. They followed the signal to a huge, deep pit. Looking at the structure, it cannot be formed naturally. The effect should be to convert the gas in the air into oxygen. Hundreds of similar devices. Could it be that before humans arrived on the planet, humans had occupied this place? To calculate the depth of the sky, someone picked up a rock and threw it in, but accidentally hit a deep pit defense mechanism. The stone was thrown back. It just hit the teammate's head. Then a large amount of gas from the hole with a flash of lightning. This time, Jack walked in. Maya asked him why he led everyone there. Jack said if Maya could have less curiosity, the colleagues might not have died. Out of the previous flashback memories. Could it be they were all killed by themselves? Jack did not agree or deny. Instead, he suggested to pack up and leave. They're to report everything here to the upper level. At this time, there are before the rescue ship takes off. Maya is no longer there. Maya insisted on finding Jack came to comfort her. He gave her a sedative. Maya can control her emotions well. Maybe it's too much of two sedatives. Maya suddenly felt dizzy. She hurriedly, secretly sedated. Then another memory came to her mind. She only saw her with another member of the crew. Apparently, the other party has lost her. Maya raised scissors. She pointed at the other part until the other party was completely out of motion. At this time, Maya woke up. Could it be that not only Clark was crazy, maybe those dead crew members were in? She was about to tell Jack the truth. Result, she saw Clark missing. Maya hurriedly picked up a base, hiding in the air duct of the spaceship. At this time, she smelled a smelly smell. She even looked for the smell. She saw Jack's body lying around. It was obviously killed by... Maya was furious and rushed out of the duct. Clark's protective suit has a power support system. The hands of the crew are all at a distance. Maya's body and body are not enemies at all. At the moment of crisis, she raised the water pipe and put it on the oxygen. Clark's helmet was soon filled with water. Maya dead, until Clark was out of motion. Then she used the water pipe. She used a medical robot to scan the other person's body. Result showed that everything was normal in Clark's body. Neither was he vaccinated nor infected with virus. This surprised. So why did Clark lose his... At this time, the sent a warning. The rescue ship deployed. Can return to the orbit base time. Maya had to put down all kinds of doubts. Wearing a protective suit, she walked towards the landing point. However, when she got close, that the cabin of the spaceship had serious marks. A bad feelings were hard. She quickly entered the inside of the spaceship. This is when she found that the control system was severe. At this time, she was off. Maya's mood fell again. Then she silently turned around to quit. I looked to the desk. Before they just schnell the sky. I'm flying again, clap. So it seemed to be difficult for him. Colored chats. One, then a black shadow screen. Then a black shadow appeared at the end of the screen. I was already dead. While Via and the others were waiting for rescue inside the spaceship, according to regulations, they were supposed to abandon everything and immediately escape using the life pods. However, driven by curiosity, Via was desperate to understand the nature of this creature. So, she secretly took a sample and began to study it in secret. At that moment, her teammate Kevin discovered what she was doing, but before he could stop her, the monster suddenly attacked. It even entered Kevin's body through his nostrils. In the next moment, Kevin lost control and charged toward Via. Unfortunately for him, Via quickly fought back and killed him. Soon after, the other teammates arrived. But to their horror, the supposedly dead Kevin suddenly stood up and began attacking his teammates indiscriminately. Via realized Kevin had been parasitized, so she threw a knife during the chaos. After Kevin was severely wounded again, the alien monster abandoned its host and entered Black Daw's body through his ear. This new host was clearly much stronger, and now Via had no strength to resist. Luckily, at the critical moment, Captain Clark showed up. Even with his powered suit, he couldn't match the monster's strength. Hearing the fighting, Jack arrived on the scene, and what he saw terrified him. As the monster chased after him, Jack quickly escaped into the ventilation ducts, though not without difficulty. Meanwhile, Via took the chance to replace Clark's oxygen mask and urged him to go to the escape ship and report what happened. Via decided to stay behind as a way to atone for her mistake. Back at the base, Via hid the dagger behind her back, taking advantage of a moment when Black Daw, still partially human, was vulnerable. She stabbed him in the heart, but the monster abandoned its host again, this time climbing onto Via and entering her brain through a wound on her forehead. From then on, Via and the monster were mentally connected. Later, most of what Via saw were illusions created by the monster. She eventually realized the sedative patch on her neck reduced her brain activity, making her easier to control. Every time the sedative wore off, fragments of her memory resurfaced. She tore off the patch, quickly opened the medical robot, and scanned her brain, confirming the monster's presence. Controlling the mechanical arms, she forced the monster out through the wound in her head. Just when she thought it was over, the monster entered Jack's body instead. This time, the fusion was complete. While Via was distracted, Jack tackled her to the ground. She put on a protective suit, grabbed a flamethrower, and rushed to the medical room. After rummaging through cabinets, she finally found a bottle of pure oxygen agent. When the monster got close, she pulled the trigger. With a loud blast, the creature turned into a fireball. After everything calmed down, Via, still in her suit, walked out of the base. A few minutes later, she finally found the escape ship. What she had previously believed to be a damaged control system was actually a hallucination caused by the monster. As the spaceship lifted off, Via saw her own body hovering above the ground at a space station on the outer orbit. That concludes the story of this sudden invasion. Clearly, it's a low-budget production, and most of the plot is essentially the heroine's imagination, so don't overthink the logic.